Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Monday. Thanks for joining us here for a new edition of our 10 Weather Impact Show. I'm meteorologist Aaron White alongside Amy Steigerwald.
Happy
Thanks
to
for
be
joining
here.
us.
I know, what an exciting little treat for my Monday.
Yeah, nice Monday, and it's a beautiful day already this morning,
we've had
this
a
afternoon.
couple beautiful days.
Yeah, the whole weekend was perfect. I know a lot of people were outside going to the state fair, of course, and just really just enjoying what has not been typical summer weather with lower temperatures, the humidity not being a problem.
I love that.
Yeah, it's been nice. And guess what? We got a few more days of it. So let's go ahead and dive into the forecast here. As we go through it, we are talking about, again, some changes as we go into the next couple of days. We have a little bit of wildfire smoke that's been in the area here just recently. That has led to some hazy skies. Not really been a huge problem here across Ohio, but it has been a little bit further to the north and even now to the east. But we are still seeing at least some haze in the sky going into tomorrow, and it may stick around even into our Wednesday. But overall, we are still looking at some nice weather conditions here for today. If you're thinking about heading out to the pool this afternoon, temperatures will be up into the lower 80s. There may be a few more scattered clouds, but there will also be some sunshine, so you can still at least enjoy some of the conditions all the way through 4 o'clock. Looking at temperatures around 81 degrees, and we should see a high right around 83 for today. And also keep in mind, because of all the sunshine that we have here today, just like we had over the weekend and going into tomorrow, and really throughout the work week, we have sunshine. UV index is going to be on the high side, around an 8 for the next couple of days. So that could mean sunburns can happen in as little as 20 minutes. So of course, make sure to apply that sunscreen. And of course, if you're going to be out for a while, we always say it every time, if you're going to be out for a while, just take the sunscreen with you and reapply it every so often to avoid getting one of those serious sunburns. But as we go through the hour-by-hour forecast here today, we have been watching some scattered clouds moving through this morning, and they are continuing this afternoon. Sort of a mix of clouds and sun. Partly cloudy skies are expected here through this evening. We'll get some clear skies later on. And then going into tonight, we'll watch some more clouds streaming in from the south and west. Not expecting any rain with this, but some cloud cover is going to be in the forecast, calling for, again, partly cloudy skies even here tomorrow. But of course, there will be some sunshine. You can see some breaks in the clouds here, even at noon here on your Tuesday. And what we are going to be watching later tomorrow evening, and this is a very low chance of it happening, is a couple pop-up showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Not expecting anything overly impressive with it. Heavy rainfall really not going to be a concern in terms of severe weather, not a concern with that either. Just a couple pop-ups that could be around central Ohio, but keeping it really less than 20%. One shower might develop, and most of central Ohio, as you can see here, would then stay dry. So that's what we're watching here for tomorrow. And really the next few days, we have those minor chances for a couple pop-ups. Otherwise, the next better chance of rain would arrive here looking ahead of the weekend. Unfortunately, timing-wise, not really great for the weekend, but that's what we got in the forecast here as we look ahead to Saturday and Sunday. A little bit more humidity around, and that could lead to some more showers and storms. Otherwise, for today, if you're heading out on the water, 83 for a high. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon. Really nice conditions as that humidity stays on the lower side and the humidity stays fairly low the next several days. And as we go into our Tuesday and Wednesday, that's when we have those minor chances for a couple pop-ups. Not a great chance, and really most of us are going to stay dry, but at least Tuesday and Wednesday would favor that chance. Those chances really drop off going into Thursday and Friday. High temperatures warming up though, mid to upper 80s here by Friday. Going to also see that humidity start to rise a little bit more here as we head into our Saturday and Sunday, and that could also fuel a minor chance for a couple pop-up showers or thunderstorms that we'll have to watch for as we get those high temperatures up into the upper 80s and close to 90 degrees. So it was bound to happen. You know, we couldn't enjoy this nice weather for too long. I mean, we could enjoy it, of course, but you know, summertime had to come back, and looks like it's going to come back at least a little bit here next weekend. I don't think the humidity is going to be as high as what we had last week, but
please.
still seeing 90 degrees. It's like, okay, a little toasty, but
yeah, definitely.
Hey, it's been nice with the upper 70s we had on Saturday. It was only
so
77
nice.
Degrees. Like, that was perfect.
This weekend was the picture-perfect forecast for sure. This past weekend.
A good one for early August, but also some other activity that's been happening here locally, and we've been watching some showers and storms happening here and there, but also further to the east in the Atlantic, it's been a little bit more of an active season as there has been a bit more tropical activity now occurring across parts of really the Atlantic and even even in the Pacific, as we talk about some of these active areas that we're watching here going through the next couple of days. Actually, one that just happened in the last 24 hours, that is Tropical Storm Dexter. That is our new named storm there in the Atlantic. You can see it well off the east coast of the mid-Atlantic, off the coast of North Carolina and Virginia. That is heading out to sea, so it is not going to be a problem for anywhere on the eastern seaboard. But that area in yellow, that is off the coast of the Carolinas and Georgia and Florida. That's going to bring some rain to the southeastern part of the U.S. But what we're going to be watching over the next several days is that area in orange off the really in the central Atlantic, as there will likely be some good potential for some more development. But as it stands right now, it doesn't appear like there's going to be anything that's going to have any major impacts on the United States and really any part of North America. So definitely some good news there, but of course it is still early August. The peak of hurricane season not happening until we get towards really mid-September, so still a lot of time for the tropics to get a little bit more active, but as it stands right now, things are going to be pretty quiet for us.
All right, yes, and we should also point out when we're talking about North America, the 2025 wildfire season in North America is really expected to last longer than ever. Now that is according to government scientists. They say above average temperatures and dry conditions in the West have really sparked the largest fires so far this year, and it's only 12% contained. That is the fire in Arizona's Grand Canyon National Park. It has now reached mega fire status. That's when a fire burns over 100,000 acres of land. Over the weekend, a new fire sparked in California and is quickly spreading.
First 24 hours, it doubled in size. So this is a very rapidly fast-moving fire.
Yeah, just wild and stuff. And that fire that you were talking about there in California is now the second largest wildfire in California this year. And just watching some of those fires and just how quickly they've been spreading. You also mentioned the one in the Grand Canyon. That fire is now, as you mentioned, a mega fire, over 100,000 acres burned. And this is actually, if we can take the video, this is going to be a collection of different time lapses of the Dragon Bravo fire over there on the north rim of the Grand Canyon. You can see just a lot of fire and really spreading over the last several weeks, and it has been a problem. It's impacted many structures on the northern side of the Grand Canyon. Several parts of the park are actually closed. Several trails are closed in the Grand Canyon area, so really devastating for that part of Arizona. And now we're talking about more fires burning in California. And of course, we've been watching it over the summer, all the fires up in Canada, sending all that wildfire smoke into the Midwest. So it really has been a problem, and not really surprising to see that 2025 is kind of on a really pace for one of the more active wildfire seasons.
Definitely the video is pretty alarming too.
Yeah, it's just been a while to just kind of watching that stuff. And also something that also has been really incredible watching the last week or so. We talked about that major earthquake out of Russia. And something also happening now in Russia is a volcano. This is the first time in nearly 600 years that this volcano in Russia is actually erupting. Video that you're watching right now sending plumes of ash and smoke up over 4 miles into the atmosphere, and experts actually say this eruption is likely directly linked to that earthquake that happened just last week. So this eruption actually taking place Saturday into Sunday. There was another eruption that we looked at yesterday even, and now they're actually warning about 2 other volcanoes showing similar signs that they could be erupting in the near future. So just really wild at how everything is linked together like that, with a major earthquake and then potentially now setting off a chain reaction with some volcanoes erupting in the area. Definitely
alarming. I mean, the video speaks for itself.
Yeah, so there's been obviously a lot of stuff happening, of course, with the fires, volcanoes, earthquakes. Thankfully, things are relatively quiet around here, which we like.
Grateful for that.
We like some quieter weather. Of course, we've had active weather here in the past, so we'll take the next several days as we got some pretty quiet conditions, more sunshine in the forecast. And as we talk about the forecast, that's going to do it for us here on the Weather Impact Show. Coming up later on tonight, Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz will be in with the latest news and weather updates. Otherwise, you can catch more news and weather online at 10tv.com.